Hey, guys. We are Group 1. Today we are going to introduce Chapter 7 Openness.
PR7 Openness. In this chapter, we are going to define what platform users and partners can and cannot do. The challenge is inherent in managing an open platform model.
Why a platform is fundamentally an infrastructure designed to facilitate interactions among producers and consumers of value. These two basic types of participants use the platform to connect with each other and engage in exchange. First, an exchange of information, then if desired, an exchange of goods or services in return for some from currency. These participants come together on the platform to engage in a core interaction that is at the heart of the platform's value creation mission. The decision of open or not affects usage, developer participation, monetization and regulation.
How to maintain high quality. While maximizing its accessibility to all users who want to contribute to the platform. Its asymmetry. The more open a system becomes, the more fragmented it becomes, it's more difficult to monetization, and the intellectual property that defines it is more difficult to control. 2090 provide a basic definition of openness.
A platform is open to the extent that, 1. No restriction are placed on participation in its development, commercialization, or use. 2. Any restriction are reasonable and non-discriminatory, that is, they are applied uniformly to all potential platform participants.
Just like to recast the open/closed dilemma as a choice between fragmented and integrated that subtly skewed the debate in favor or a closed, controlled system.
Being closed not simply a matter of absolutely forbidding outside participant, but also involve creating onerous participation rules. It may discourage/charging excessive fees or rents. The profit margins of potential participants are reduced below sustainable level.
The choice between open or closed, not black or white, a spectrum between the two extremes. A vibrant and healthy platform depends on the value created by partners who are out of the platform itself. There are three kinds of openness decisions. 1. Decisions regarding manager and sponsor participation. 2. Decisions regarding developer participation. 3. Decisions regarding user participation.
Each type of decision has inquiry ramifications and implications. Let's consider them in turn.
How can we make sense of the openness decision that platform managers must make? As we explained before, a platform is fundamentally an infrastructure designed to facilitate interactions among producers and consumers of value. These two basic types of participants use the platform to connect with each other and to engage in exchanges. First, an exchange of information. Then, if desired, an exchange of goods or services in return for some form of currency. These participants come together on the platform to engage in a core interaction that is at the heart of the platform's value-creating mission. In time, other kinds of interactions may be layered out onto the platform, increasing its usefulness and attracting other participants. Given this basic design, it's axiomatic that a vibrant and healthy platform is dependent on the value created by partners who are outside of the platform itself. If a platform is too closed, then partners cannot or will not contribute the value required to make mutually rewarding exchanges possible. There are three kinds of openness decisions that platform designers and managers need to grapple with. First, decisions regarding manager and sponsor participation. Second, decisions regarding developer participation. And third, decisions regarding user participation. And first, let's look at manager and sponsor participation. Behind any platform, with responsibility for its structure and operation, are two entities. The first is the firm that manages the platform and directly touches users. Another is the firm that sponsors the platform and retains legal control over the technology. In many cases, these two entities are one and the same, such as Facebook, Uber, eBay, Airbnb, Alibaba, and many others are both platform managers and sponsors. In other cases, however, the platform manager and the platform sponsor are not identical. In general terms, the platform manager organizes and controls producer and consumer interaction, while the platform sponsor controls the overall architecture of the platform. So now, we're going to take you know about the 4 models for managing and sponsoring platforms. In some cases, a single firm both manages and sponsors the platform. We call this the proprietary model. For example, the hardware, software, and underlying technical standards for the Macintosh operating system and the mobile iOS are all controlled by Apple. Sometimes, a group of firms manages the platform while one firm sponsors. This is the licensing model. Google, for example, sponsors the stock Android operating system, but it encourages a number of hardware firms to supply devices that connect consumers to the platform. In still other cases, a single firm manages the platform while a group of firms sponsor it. It is the joint venture model. The Orbitz travel reservations platform was launched in 2001 as a joint venture sponsored by a collection of major airlines in order to compete with Travelocity. Finally, in some cases, a group of firms manages the platform while another group sponsors it. We call it the shared model. For example, there are both many sponsors and many managers of the open source Linux operating system. As you can see, these 4 models of manager and sponsor participation are, in effect, variant patterns of openness. The proprietary model provides the greatest control and facilitates the most closed system of operation. The licensing and joint venture models are, in effect, open at one end and closed on the other. While the shared model, exemplified by Linux, leads to a platform that is open to both a wide array of sponsors and a wide array of managers.
We need to know what to open and what to own. Innovations that are valuable to platform users can come from many sources.
Some are created by core developers and therefore are owned and controlled by the platform company itself. Other are created by extension developers and therefore are owned and controlled by outside businesses. But there has a problem that if the outside developer threatened that of the platform itself, and when this happens, how should the platform manager respond? A platform manager doesn't want let an outside firm control a primary source of user value on your platform. When this happens, you need to move to take the company that created it. But if the extension app adds a modest of additional value, then it's perfectly safe and generally very efficient to allow the outside developer to retain control of it. There have 2 principles for platform managers to consider when weighing whether an extension app represents a threat to their economic power. First, if a particular app has the potential to become a powerful platform in its own right, the manager of the platform that hosts the app should seek to own it, or replace it with an app controlled by the platform itself. Like in 2012, Google Maps was a popular feature on Apple's iPhone. However, with more consumer activity moving to mobile devices and becoming increasingly integrated with location data, Apple realized that Google Maps was becoming a significant threat to their profitability of its mobile platform. So Apple created its own mapping app. It didn't work well in the beginning after continuous improvement. iPhone platform is no longer dependent on Google for mapping technology, and Apple has control over the mapping application as a source of significant value. Second, if particular functionality is reinvented by a number of extension developers and gains widespread acceptance by platform users, the manager of the platform should acquire the functionality and make it available through an open API. Platform manager should standardize and incorporate into APIs those functions that are invented by extension developers, so that all developers can use. Platform manager can use some artful curation to limit openness, like Wikipedia want to establish high standards for the quality of the platform's content. The manager try to rely primarily on community standards and social pressure. Wikipedia promulgated their 5-pillar, but it is not enough. Therefore, Vandal-Proof, which is a software program written especially for Wikipedia, helping Wikipedia check the article is correct or not. It is important for platform to take the form of screening and feedback at critical points of access to the platform. Screening decides who to let in, while feedback encourages desirable behavior on the part of those who have been granted entry. A user's reputation, as shaped by past behavior both on and off the platform, is usually a key factor in curation. Positive reputation users are more likely to pass through the screening process. you can manage through human gatekeepers. Blogs and online magazines often use this kind of system. But this way is time-consuming and costly. A better system can rely on users themselves to curate the platform, and through software tools gather feedback and apply it to curation decisions. No system of curation is perfect. If the curation tools are on the side of openness, it would have some dangerous content slip though. If the curation tools are overly restrictive, valuable users or contents may be screened out. So platform manager should devote significant time and resources to ensure the platform is set appropriately. Platforms that operate in similar arenas may choose to differentiate themselves by adapting different levels and kinds of openness. These variant openness regimes will attract different kinds and numbers of participants, generate distinct ecosystem cultures, and may ultimately produce divergent business models. Like Google needed to be more open because it entered the market after Apple. As a result, ASOP grew beyond Google's control. It's difficult to close the Android applications for functions because the underlying operating system is free to all. In the end, Google exerting control over critical functions to achieve the goal. Above all, platform sponsors and managers need to practice to ensure that their platforms remain relevant, vibrant, and valuable to a growing base of users.
Opening over time, maturing platforms often evolve in the direction of greater openness. This demands continually re-evaluating and adjusting curation processes to ensure consistently high quality of platform content and service value. Platforms can expand and develop stronger network effects by opening out over time. Sometimes, as Android and Facebook, they have to choose to become more closed over time. The choice to become more open or more closed depends on whether a platform was originally structured as a proprietary or shared platform. A proprietary platform, which is sponsored, managed, and completely controlled by a single company, can only become more open. By contrast, a fully open, shared platform, Linux, for example, can only become more closed. A forward-looking platform management team must design ways to continually evaluate the platform's openness level. Preferably, the platform will use a consistent strategic framework to make decisions for opening over time. A new platform will often choose to be closed, executing virtually all of its processes internally. Most of the time it is because there are no partners willing to make the necessary investment. Over time, as the platform grows and outside developers are attracted, the openness pattern may change. Eventually, as the maturing platform moves processes outside the firm from employees to partners, it may need to develop algorithms to automate curation or to decentralize curation to the entire base of users. YouTube now depends upon its large user base to evaluate content, provide feedback, and flag content that should not be on the platform. As the platform's openness policies evolve, the challenge is always to find balance. If a platform is too closed, its partners may refuse to make platform-specific investments. On the other hand, platforms face trouble when extension developers begin to insert themselves too aggressively between the platform and its users. The unique power and value of the platform lies in its ability to facilitate connections among participants from outside the platform itself. But defining exactly who should have access to the platform and precisely how they can participate is an enormously complex issue with ever-changing strategic implications. That's why the question of openness needs to be at the top of every platform manager's agenda, not just during the initial design process, but throughout the life of the platform.